Clam on Cloud 9.
Yeah. No, that's Gumiho.
Oh, yeah, it's Gumiho. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to be kicking off our first semi... I say first, I don't know if it's... We're going to be kicking off one of our two semifinals of the evening. Our first, but not our last. Ideally. Semifinal of the evening, and it's going to be here on site Delta, where we're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left. We, of course, have our blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Talon Esports. We have Dark.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Offside Esports. It is Firefly.
On site Delta once again, and as you said, that was a very unique build coming out from Firefly. I would love to see him continue to refine this down over the coming months, potentially whip it out more and more against some of these top tier players, and ideally beat them as well. But yeah, Dark is a very different type of Zerg compared to Su. He is not gonna be not typically one to let his Protoss opponents get away with being greedy in the early game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see if he can get away with the greed, or if Firefly just takes a different approach, right? As you mentioned, because of Dark's aggressive nature, Firefly may just not even attempt that build, and just have a very different kind of setup here against the Zerg player. For now, Firefly just being as annoying as possible, tasing away at those drones, and we'll soon see what we embrace, what kind of build we go for.
You know, I never actually thought about that. The fact that Probe's weapon is basically a taser.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Is it painful? It's gotta be painful.
I mean, it doesn't look gentle. I mean, yeah. You don't really think about it. I mean, SCVs, they have drills. Whenever they attack, they're literally drilling into you.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
True. Drones are actually probably the least brutal out of all the workers in that regard.
It depends on how sharp the claws are. That's the thing, right? Like the claws.
True.
Because they are.
If the claws are blunt, that's going to be real painful.
Yeah. Because they are like actually like yanking out or like at least crushing crystals, I guess, right?
Yeah. Oh, right, with their claws.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cute. They're like crushing the crystals with their claws, but then they're biting them with their teeth.
Exactly.
To carry them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Probes should... Yeah, they're drones. I feel like Probes should take a page out of Heroes of the Storm and have a range attack.
I don't. I think I stopped playing Heroes of the Storm as Probius was being released. I think when I saw that, cannon rushes in Heroes, like, yeah. I'm good.
I play Heroes to get away from the cannon
rushes.
Like,
exactly.
Now I have to face them again?
Aye. Glaives are on the way.
Glaives are on the way from Firefly. Very different approach this time. And we're not pulling out of gas, and you know what that means? Dark. He's going to get DT twice.
So we have options. We can either go for a Dark Shrine alongside the Glaive Adepts, or we can go for something a little bit different. Now, actually, I'm a little bit surprised here. There's no Robo.
Oh, yeah, that's an additional gate.
Yeah,
it's a 3-gate glaive.
Yeah, okay. So this is macro. This is macro glaive adepts. So it's 3-gate glaives because we don't spend money on the robo. We have spare resources to get a third base.
Huh. Alrighty then. We'll see what this eventually builds into. Firefly. Yeah, just playing macro for now.
Yeah, and ideally, this is designed to catch Dark off guard because Dark sees a third, so he's like, oh, okay, a standard game, right? It should be like, Stargate, maybe into Blink, right? It should be a normal game, but we are banking and hiding the Adepts here behind the natural before moving out across the map.
Yeah, very potent force of Adepts coming out as well. We're not quite going to be reinforcing this, so yeah, these 5 Adepts have their work cut out for them. But like you said, this can catch Dark off guard. Ideally, it catches Dark off guard. And it will allow Firefly to just slip into a mineral line, take out a couple of drones, and then back home he is safe and secure on his 3 bases.
Yeah, he is safe and secure. He's macroing on out of this. Meanwhile, Dark has made quite an abundance of roaches. This is just a safety precaution. Spores are done. This time it will not be DT'd. After what happened to Creator, we've got spores in both mineral lines, not in the main base, but plenty of detection here, so we should be safe and sound. And Dark is just going to be settling into the mid game from here.
It's traumatized. DTSD happens to the best of us.
Oh yeah. As the third base is getting saturated, Blink and +1 are now on the way. We're getting to our standard transition. The Adepts, we have to be very careful with them, because if we lose them, then we lose the third base. So Firefly's just being very careful overall. Didn't commit, and yeah, no damage was really dealt either way.
Huh. But we're about to have damage dealt as that is a Spire on the way.
Oh, okay. I assumed it was just going to be into Hydras or into Lingbane Roach Ravager, but no, we take all of our gases and we are getting into Namutas.
Yeah. Why is there no Muta hero in Heroes of the Storm? Anyway. Yeah, a lot of potential here for Dark to slip into a mineral line here and there.
Okay, does Zagara make Mutas and Heroes? Is that a thing?
Does she?
Does she?
Does she? She makes Banelings.
She makes Hydras and Roaches, I know that much.
Yeah.
Does she not
what
make
does
Mutas?
Abathur make?
One of them makes
Kerrigan
Ultras,
makes
right?
Ultras.
Yeah.
Kerrigan,
There you go. Are there no Mutas in Heroes? Is it OP because it flies?
There's gotta be Mutas in Heroes,
Is there anything that flies in Heroes?
Raynor can make Banshees in Heroes.
Okay.
Or one Banshee now. Got nerfed.
Okay.
Shaking my head.
God. How
It's not
dare
even
they?
cloaked. Like,
Yeah, you can't even one-shot drones with one Banshee. Do they not know?
shaking my head.
They not play StarCraft? Mutas are on the way.
Mutas are on the way. And I'm now on the way. Firefly will finally scout the Spire before the Mutas are out, so he does have a little bit of time to prepare back home.
There we go. So he has a heads up back at home. We have cannons, shield batteries on the way. Double Stargate as well to embrace a Phoenix production. So a big reaction out of Firefly. Now the ball is in Dark's court. Dark knows he got scattered. He did invest into 8 Mutas. And Dark is not making any more than that. He's focusing on his ground army.
Yeah, ideally here for Dark, Firefly overreacts to the Mutalisk. But we'll see if that ends up coming true. I feel like Firefly himself is probably guessing that this is only a harassment force of Mutalisk. It's not going to be part of Dark's main army.
As the Mutas, they go for a massive flyby. Likewise, Stalkers are in position. Stargates are revealed. But in the midst of all this, here comes the main army of Dark. He hits the 4.
Yeah, flooding all these links through. The shield battery will go down right after battery overcharge got popped. So, yeah, very unfortunate timing here, unfortunately, for Firefly.
Nice force fields. He locked down the Ravagers, but as the Ravagers are being cleaned up, the base, the Nexus is going down, and that is all that Dark wanted. That's going to be a kill on the 4th Nexus.
Oh my lord, yeah, there's a kill on the 4th base. Meanwhile, the Mutas, while the main army was distracted over here, the Mutas were able to take out 18 probes.
Yeah,
Good lord.
18 workers go down, so we lose a base and a mineral line. Dark doing so well already, and again, we're done with the Mutas. We're still focusing on Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. Baliness now on the way, plus on melee as well. Dark is looking solid. Firefly does have a comparable worker count. I will say that. Dark did cut a lot of drones.
Huh. Yeah. But he's not looking to make any more now.
No. He's getting ready.
Firefly, yeah. I was just gonna say Firefly not that far behind, but Dark doesn't intend for was never intending to be ahead, that far ahead.
Yeah, Dark, he's maxed out. He's maxed out, so he's cutting workers at just under 4 base saturation. He's going for the second wave. He's going for a second push, and this one is going to hit even harder than the first. Once again, his goal is to deny the 4th. Time and time again, contain the opponent to 3 bases.
Continue your opponent on 3 bases, and eventually they run out of money to reinforce their army.
Yeah, as we do see the Stalkers gaining ground, Immortals are pushing through as well, but we're getting some of the Immortals. Oh, alas, the Force Fields will zone away those Lings, and Firefly is holding.
Yeah, the 7 to 4th base does survive. And Dark doesn't trade too well against it. The Mutalisk is still alive and is trying to wreak havoc in the natural base, but battery overcharge funnily enough, going to keep everything alive. Firefly didn't even need battery overcharge at his 4th base, I'm now realizing.
Yeah, it didn't even need the overcharge. The 4th base survives. A very impressive defense here out of Firefly, and now I'm a little bit concerned for Dark. Firefly is holding, Firefly is surviving. Dark is still sticking with a mid-game army composition and is getting ready for wave number 3. But the longer this goes on, the better it is for Firefly. He's got the concave.
Well, he does have the concave, and he's looking for a flank, but we have 50 over Banes here for Dark.
Oh,
but we don't have Baneling speed.
we don't need it.
We don't need it, yeah.
Yeah, they crash into the mineral line. 13 pros go down at the same time. Mutas, they hit the natural base as well, and Dark is going to be going for a rotation. As you mentioned, bathing speed is going to be necessary for the main army, and it's going to finish up in 10 seconds. Firefly trying to recover, trying to hold on, but this 3rd base looking that much more exposed.
And we do have a little bit of a concave being set up here from Firefly. Going to be enough, actually, for Dark to back away.
Yeah, we still need that bathing speed. There we go. Bathing speed is now done. Dark can now turn around. He can now turn and fight against the main army. But sentries are coming in. We have more force fields.
We do. I was worried that the sentries didn't have a lot of energy on them, but we had enough to wall off the choke point, and that's all that matters.
Exactly, that's all that does matter. Firefly is holding. Losing the mineral line was brutal, though. Again, we have not had the time to reproduce those workers, to get back into saturation. So the economy for Firefly now did take a big blow, but the main army is still looking pretty strong. And again, Dark is still not transitioning out of this. He's still sticking with a ground-based army with the Lingbane Roach Ravager. Firefly will have an opportunity soon to break out. We'll see if Dark lets him have it. We get in!
Do manage to break into the mineral line. Massive run by of Lings. Completely wreaking havoc over here. Forces the battery overcharge once again. But the shield battery will fall. This main army is not as strong as it could be, as Firefly was forced to split up a couple of units. But the sentries, man. Oh, I was going to say the sentries are holding strong and they are walling off. But a lot of them go down to the Banes.
And at the same time, Lings, they break through the natural base. 18 more workers going down. Stalkers, they're racing back into the main. They will clean this up, but once again, we have dealt enough economic damage. Firefly, his worker count is in the gutter. He's down to 37 probes. He barely has an economy. His army fights have been good, but now he's completely all in.
Exactly. All he has is all he's got. And the army fights were fantastic for Firefly earlier on, while he was on the defending side of things. Now he's the aggressor. Now he's pushing on to creep, and this is exactly where Dark wants to fight.
Yeah, Banelings, they come in from behind, from the front as well. They're going to crash into everything Protoss here, as the sentries will fall, the stalkers as well, and Firefly, he gets completely shut down.
Like so. Banelings crashing into just about everything. They're not great, but
Stalkers, they're coming in to reinforce. We lost the sentries, lost the immortals, but the stalkers, they stand strong.
In fact, stand strong. We're getting a lot of Lings out, but if they just trickle in like this, they're very easily taken out by the Stalkers. Here come the reinforcing Lings and the reinforcing drones as well, and now we're starting to run out of ground to blink too.
Yeah, and the Stalkers are getting low. They're just bleeding out here at this point. Boys are being pulled. Some drones are going down, but Dark can afford to lose some workers here as we cut the Stalker count in half. And again, no reinforcements, no economy. We barely have anything left over to reinforce. Firefly is running out of steam.
Yeah, Dark lost 7 drones this game. Those 7 drones were the only drones that he lost, compared to Firefly losing 50.
Exactly. So Dark can sustain these trades. He can sustain these losses. Firefly cannot. Does peel off a couple of Zelts to go for a run by, to go for a counterattack. But alas, they're going to be shut down as well. And yeah, Dark, he's looking quite comfortable here, massing on more roaches.
Firefly, he's weathered storm after swarm after storm, but it only took one. Every successive storm weakened him, and in the end, Dark was able to break through and take game number 1. GG.
GG, well played. Dark does take a lead here in the series, but a shout out to Firefly because he was holding his own. He was defending beautifully. There were only 1 or 2 slip-ups here that did go in favor of Dark. The big one, of course, was the Baneling Waddle by at the 3rd base, which killed 18 workers. Likewise, the Ling run by at the natural, also killing another 18 workers as well. These 2 moments were crucial, and these 2 moments meant that Firefly was all in.
Like so, yeah. I do appreciate Firefly switching things up a lot, though, in game number 2. I think he knew that his build that he whipped out against Su was not going to be effective at all against a player like Dark. So yeah, he switched it up a lot, and he went for something a little bit more active, a little bit more aggressive in the early game. It was just unfortunate that Dark also was looking to be aggressive, very aggressive.
Oh yeah. And I've shouted as well in the chat to Neogist as well. God, Papi God, thank you so much for resubscribing for 2 months with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Neogist. We do appreciate the support. Weren't able to give you a shout out during the game because things were popping off, but thank you nonetheless. We appreciate it.
Yeah, much appreciated, Neogist. 67 months ago.
67 more months, Papi. You'll be fine.
Yeah. As we dive into game number 2 of our best of 3 semifinals here, where we're going to be spawning into Oceanborn, where we're here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right. We have our blue Berserk player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Talon Esports, as well as dads everywhere, as with Lancer being taken out, I believe Dark is the only dad remaining in the bracket. We have Dark.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Firefly. Hello, Mr. Drone.
Where are we going? You're not Probius.
No, we're doing one better, Papi. Here we go. Now, we have one of two things. There we go. Dark, if the probe had stuck around, and if Dark was denied this expansion, then we can go for the hatch block across the map. But it looks like Dark is not going for the spawning pool, so we can go for both. It's going to be hatch first into the hatch block as well. Technically, double hatch before pooling gas.
Yeah, technically.
Macro.
3 hatch before pool, yeah. Macro.
True. But Dark is going to be spicing things up here. Again, his spawning pool and gas is going to be delayed in favor of delaying the economy of Firefly.
And I think Firefly has scouted this as well, so he knows that he does need to take out the hatchery sooner rather than later, but he also knows that it's not going to be a rush or anything like that. He doesn't need to delay his economy any further than it already is.
Yeah, there's no need to like throw down a shield battery and a forge and cannons and a second gateway, and there's no need to overreact like that. Yeah, we're gonna be opening up with a Stargate opener here, but the expansion is gonna be heavily delayed, and that is gonna play a part in this initial build.
Yeah, it's essentially the first domino, right? That Dark is tumbling down here, and we'll see if Firefly is able to prevent the other dominoes from falling if he switches to Pizza Hut. As he will be able to turn on his Nexus.
I was about to ask something actually, because you are a bit of a zoomer. You're a bit of a younger lad, right?
Indeed. Well, depending on who you ask, it could be a zillennial.
Have you even seen a domino IRL? Like, have you owned dominoes? Have you played with dominoes? Like, is your reference for domino the pizza?
It's my main reference, but yeah, I've seen dominoes. My grandmother was a gambler.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Wouldn't that have been like mahjong or something?
My grandmother was a gambler. Yeah, we had mahjong. We had a mahjong set.
Okay.
We had a mahjong table.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to host whatchamacallit, games.
How do you gamble with dominoes?
I mean, there's like a whatchamacallit. Math is involved, so I never learned.
Okay, fair enough.
So I never learned the gambling part, but I like to set them up.
Okay.
I like to knock them down.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Not just pizza.
Yeah, mostly pizza.
Mostly pizza.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought when you were talking about dominoes, so I thought you were gonna be like, do you even know of the Noid? I was like, of course I do.
The Noid? What?
The Noid.
What?
It was the Domino's mascot for like half a year.
What? I've never...
in the 80s or something like that.
Domino's had a mascot?
Yeah. until they realized that the mascot was very creepy, actually,
Okay.
and should not be selling pizza to
Fair
people.
enough.
Should not be showing up at people's houses and be like, "Hey, I got pizza."
You know, that I guarantee you there are people that are growing up in this current generation that have no idea what a domino is, and saying like dominoes falling means nothing to them. Because that's not like that's not like a thing, right? Like who would?
What would the modern day equivalent be?
Like I would like in my mind, I would imagine things like dominoes and like Monopoly and stuff like that are being phased out. And Uno, right?
No, Monopoly is still huge.
Yeah, like Monopoly
everywhere.
is timeless, mate. You can never.
Monopoly is timeless. There's no other game that can break up a family quite like Monopoly.
I mean, that was the case. Is that still the case? Like a family still playing like Monopoly?
Are they? What else would they play?
I mean, like the kids would just play on their iPad.
Yeah, Monopoly for iPad, you know?
True.
Monopoly
true.
app.
There you go.
iPad.
Hey, that's the answer. Just get an app. Just get a domino app. Where in the app, it turns your phone into a domino, and you line up all your phones.
You line up your phones, you knock them down.
There you go. That's how you answer it. That's how you do it. Knock the phones down. Play Jenga with your phone.
Exactly. Phone Jenga.
Stack them up.
The winner gets the one phone that isn't broken.
Okay. No, yeah. That makes sense. In my mind, that's what kids
It's all
are
about
doing.
the phones.
Yeah.
You know, kids these days. All about the phones.
As we're joining up, it was send the game Hatchgas pool. Likewise, Stargate opened it into Oracle. Nothing crazy. We didn't miss anything. Both players embracing the mid game here. Dark is going to be going. He did skip the Roach Warren, is going to plus on melee, and is going Lingbane Hydra.
Here we go. On the other side of things, Firefly is he get blink. He didn't get blink, so yeah, he's just getting charge first, and he's setting up for 6 gates.
Here we go. Yeah, the gateways are on the way. We do catch a queen, but it does cost us an oracle. The other oracle taking a lot of hits. Oh my god, Bailey will escape. Bailey will get away. But as you are alluding to, we are not going into a standard game. We are embracing charge loads, and we're looking at hits, 8 charge and +1 timing.
Yeah, very, very potent, especially against a Zerg player who doesn't have any Banelings.
Yeah, because I alluded to Lingbane Hydra. Well, really, it's just Ling Hydra. Baneling that's just now on the way, and without Banelings, this is not going to be the easiest of holds. We'll see as Firefly is going to be zooming across the map. Lings are amassing. Queens are coming to the table as well, and we'll see if we can pull off this defense.
And we're going to try. Hydra's coming in from the flank. Lings are getting full surrounds on these Zealots. Not quite enough sentries here for force fields. In fact, we have 1 sentry, but it ended up getting sniped by the Queens.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, a couple of devs did shade in. We do react in time. We pull away a dev, say shade into the natural. Some drones are going down, but this cost us a lot of Zealots. Looking at the units last time, that was 11 Zealots going down, and we only got 2 drones.
Yeah, not at all a worthwhile trade here for Firefly, and now things are getting very scary because Firefly was banking a lot on this initial push, to do a lot of damage to take on a mineral line ideally, or at the very least trade well against the army of Dark, but it didn't, and now Dark is getting into, this time with Banes, it is actually Lingbane Hydra.
Here we go. Lingbane Hydra's on the way. Nice stasis does catch out. No! It does catch out the Zealots, sorry, the Lings, but the Banelings will crash into Zealots. So still good connections here for Dark. Behind this, we can see Firefly trying to transition out of this, working towards Blink, working towards +2 and Storm, but it's all still on the way.
So it's the most heartbreaking thing in the world when you see a Zerg player with slow Banes, but the charge loads charge into them anyway. And they still connect. Ouch.
We do have a Dark just massing up more of his army. Firefly now expanding, taking 4th base. The 4th has been a bit delayed, and we're catching up the Zealots.
Yeah, we are getting a bit of surround. The Oracle's doing everything they can to try to support them, and they will take out a lot of Lings, but Hydras will zone them away, and that's going to be the end of that particular army of Zealots. Once again, another trade going very heavily in Dark's favor.
Yeah, exactly. So Dark, he's in control. He even catches the Oracles. 1-2 Oracle's going to be going down. And with that, Dark, he's just amassing his army, getting ready to knock down at that 4th base. The one chance that Firefly has is Storm. Storm has potential to bounce back. Even though we're down in supply, if we can get some good connections, then we can bring it back.
I believe.
As we are going to be getting ready here. Revelation gets eyes on the main army. I believe gets eyes on the drop lord as well, as the Dark is going to be spicing things up here with some drop harass. We have our Ling Hydra on the right hand side as well. Dark should be the first to max out, but we're not quite there yet. Firefly, he has a moment to breathe.
Yeah. It's underwater, but we can breathe. And we'll see what he does with this breath, or with this time, I should say, and how well he's going to be able to set things up. Dark going to be finishing up his hive. He will have Vipers available pretty soon, or he will be able to make Vipers pretty soon.
Yeah, Viper's going to be on the horizon for Dark. I'm a little bit surprised there's no Lurker Den. A Lurker Den would have been thrown down if we wanted to get into Lurker tech, but alas, that is not the case. Dark instead going to be embracing a more mobile army. There it is, Lurker Den now going to be on the way for Dark. At the same time, Bailing drop is denied here at the natural.
And well done here. Well reacted and nicely done here from Firefly. First couple of storms do land, and there are plenty more storms where that came from.
Ooh, at the same time, Bailey's just trying to rush into the mineral line. Storms will connect. They will shut it down. And we have more storms where that came from. There are 6 High Templar with the main army. Plenty of storms left over.
24 storms, I believe, if my math is right.
What? What?
Or maybe not 24. Maybe it's more of 18.
What?
I don't know how much. I don't know how much energy storm costs.
What kind of math are you doing? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know how much energy it costs.
As Bailings, they roll in on the right hand side, they're mining no major connections as Firefly is able to hold on. At the same time, though, Lings, they try to bust into the natural. Alas, we do orbit in time. So far, so good. Firefly is holding.
Yeah. Losing a couple of gates here and there, but I mean, the gates are more for the wall and than for production at this point.
As we do see Dark trying to break through on both ends. Alas, he cannot. Firefly doing his best Showtime impression. And just like that, Firefly is catching up in terms of that supply. Lingbane rolling in once again, but one more storm is all we need. And we shut the army down.
Just like so. So is it 100 energy now? Or is it... Wait. But anyway, behind all of this, Dark is looking to transition. He already has a couple of lurkers out, Seismic Spines about to finish, so he's not quite able to connect with a mineral line. He's not quite able to repeat the harassment damage that he got earlier on, but he's still not behind by any means.
Yeah, it is not behind here as we do see Dark trying to dive in. Will take another storm. We will be able to defend. Meanwhile, Lurker production is soon on the horizon. My apologies. Lurker production well underway. We have how many? 13 Lurkers in total from the side of Dark, but Firefly is now also maxed out.
Oh, that's terrifying. Meanwhile, the High Templar do not have enough energy to deal with those storms, and they will get taken out. Very costly snipe here coming out from Dark. If you think about it, though, he didn't actually lose any storms. Yeah, these Banelings are getting set up. There's no reaction here. Firefly, now he scouts.
Okay, he does scout, does confirm he will shut this down. At the same time, we hit the 5th base. Bailings did crash in as well. Barely only one Bailing did connect, so Firefly is still holding on, but he's denied the expansion. He's denied the 5th.
Like so. That's a lot of High Templar down there.
It is.
Lings are wreaking havoc in the 3rd base, but finally they will get cleaned out. A couple more drone probes go down, but at this point, it's not the worst loss in the world here for Firefly. He still has 70 over workers. And it's probably even better for him to maintain this worker count and get a bigger army.
That was 75 Lings going down, by the way. That was a lot of Lings, and here we go. Now we're going for the counterattack. We are done defending. We're stuck on 4 bases. We're going for essentially an all-in, but we are pushing into lurkers, and that we cannot do.
All right, we have 11 High Templar here, and they're pretty much maxed out on energy, so that's 44 storms available.
Yeah, good. It's two storms at most per High Templar, okay? If they're on full energy.
I don't know how much energy it costs.
It's 75. It's 75.
75, there you go. Okay, so it's not 50, so it's
no.
22.
It'd be crazy if it was
storms available.
Storm. That would be insane. That'd be wild.
It should be 50.
You're an animal. You're an animal. As we are going to be rotating towards the left-hand side, the Firefly taking another base. Upon seeing all the lurkers, he backs off, and now we're getting ready for Skytoss. What I'm concerned by, though, is that this Skytoss transition, it does feel a little bit late for Firefly. I'm concerned. We've seen Dark before embrace the 35 lunkers, and we're getting there. Oh my god!
Yeah, oh, not quite enough vision to get on top of this High Templar, unfortunately for Dark, but Firefly will be able to make it out of here,
How many
and
lunkers?
he's well aware.
Say,
We
how many do you think? How many do you think?
31 lunkers,
Oh,
which
goddamn it.
is we have 30. Okay, well, we have 31 lunkers, which is basically how many spines would that be? Let's
So wait, as lurkers
like
are
100
pushing
over
forward,
spines.
we do deny mining here at the fifth base under fire. At the same time, Lings hit the right hand side. 10 probes going to be going down, and the swarm of lurkers, they're encroaching upon the bases of Firefly. And can he stop it?
Well, he's gonna try. 210 spines.
What are you saying?
200,
That's not bad. That's not bad, Jasko.
If we assume that lurkers have 7 spines. Which, look, it looks like a lurker has 7 spines. So.
I can't. Your math involves. If we assume, we can guess the number that we're working with, but then it all works out. Okay.
Exactly. If we
Okay.
assume that I'm correct, then I'm correct.
The lurkers, we catch out some of the army here. Ooh, we do get a surround on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, no, the Immortals, they waddle in, and a Firefly is being pulled apart. And as a reminder, again, he's all in. He has no economy. He's stuck on 4 bases. He was contained, and he just cannot keep up.
Yeah, that he is not. A lot of production are in the front lines as well for Firefly, and Dark is starting to siege a lot of them down. A couple of lurkers fell, but nowhere near enough, because again, 31 lurkers is a lot. GG is called, and Dark will be taking the series 2-0. We'll be moving on to the finals of ESL Open Cup. Oh boy.
GG, well played. Congratulations here as Dark will take the 2-0 win over Firefly, embracing them as Lunker Poppy. The Lunkers, they were crazy, they were insane. GG, well played. Dark advances on to the grand finals, and fun fact, we already have our finals ready for us.